Hello War Machine YouTubers, welcome to a battle report. Yes, I am doing a battle report for War Machine and Hordes. I haven't done one in a while, so forgive me if there are some errors in the next couple of minutes. My buddy and I decided to do a battle. Lister posted it earlier. So here you see after the very first turn, we've both pretty much just run up the board. He's put up Escort. He has Bullet Dodger on his Blue Jack that he is using to proxy as Gallant. And then he's got, what is it there? I'm sorry, my brain just turned off. But he's got his skirmishers set up in a line. He's got ears there. I moved up. I feel pretty good in this position. I've moved up, put wind wall up on Borka. I've got my stone aura going, and I'm feeling pretty safe right now. There's not a whole lot he can really come in and do to me with his heavy hitters there in the back. And whatever he moves up, at least as I think about it, I'm going to move up and just beat into the ground here in another turn. So my buddy comes into me, and what he does is I didn't realize that Magnus 2's feet would hem up my movement so much because it's been so long since I've played. But Magnus, long story short, the skirmishers come up and kill a bunch of things, triggering vengeance on my fin blades over on the left. They kill my champ that was up on the hill for a defensive bonus. And that's pretty much all he kills this round. He moves everything up in position and then feats so that I can't advance into him. I can't go towards his table edge or towards the table edge to the left of the screen. Anything that begins their activations inside of his control area. So that gives me about 5 models that I can do anything with. And yeah, I'm going to see what I can get done here. So my counter punch really wasn't much of a counter punch. I moved up what I could, did some cleaves with my fin blades, put some damage into his objective, and then I decided that moving back was not the worst thing I could do. I didn't want to take a direct hit from any of his heavies if I could avoid it. So I back up my unit of champions, cast Wind Wall with Borka again so that I can try to avoid range damage. Did Stumbling Drunk with him again. Stone did its aura and topped it off a little bit more so I could get all my war beasts in it. And I moved one champ over to try to block a charge lane from a heavy of his. And I'm feeling decent. I'm not happy that I've had to wait a turn to retaliate, but we'll see what happens. So his turn is pretty good. He wiped out my unit of fin blades and my Kithkar that was over on the left. So I have nothing contesting that zone. He came into my champs and killed one, and then proceeded to annihilate my Mauler, knocked a couple things down, and he's definitely up in my face. I'm still contesting the circular zone, but everything else he controls. So he goes up, or he's about to go up control points. But yeah, him having that feat I just had no answer for. So my plan is to cast Mosh Pit, get my guy to stand up for free, and then try to go back into him. And I can see a way to get to Magnus with my Earthborn, provided I get a few key pieces out of the way. So my next turn is going to take a few minutes of me just trying to angle a couple of things and then seeing what I can get done. So I managed not to kill Magnus. I left him on 6 boxes. I didn't move anything very much forward as far as my caster bubble there goes, so I cast Mosh Pit and was going to try to bomb the Tinkerer that was in the middle of the zone there, but I couldn't because I was blocking my own line of sight. And yeah, so I put some Fury in the Stone to help out with my strength bubble, and then went to see what I could get done. My Fell Caller moved over, did a spray, missed all the skirmishers, and then hits the Tinkerer and then kills him, which is what I needed because then I can trample over him. It's at this point I remembered that I forgot to use my feet. My opponent said, yeah, sure, man, go ahead. So I used my feet, which allowed me to trample for free, and I moved up my champs at this point to try to knock some other things down, to include the Rover, and trying to avoid free strikes there, and just knocking a few more things around activated my Earthborn, and because I didn't have the Rage Animus anymore because he killed my Mauler, I decided, well, let's go for broke here. I'm going to trample for free, get within an inch of Magnus. I buy an attack on Magnus and I boost, and I hit him and I knock him down. And then I go to town trying to whale him into the ground, and I leave him on, as I said earlier, 5 or 6 boxes. One more Fury on the Earthborn and I would have been able to totally annihilate him and win the game at this point in time. That failed, so I moved my Brawler around and started beating some things up. I put 2 attack. I took out Harlan Versh. I took out the other Tinkerer. Harlan Versh had been annoying me with just shooting my champions, and I was passing the damage around with Sanguinian Bond. I then proceeded to take out that Rover that was in my face, and then I'm just kind of hanging out and trying to figure out what I can do to finish up this battle and not die. I put some more damage into Gallant, and that's pretty much it. So he spends a good amount of time on this turn trying to figure out how not to lose. He decides to take the long game approach, or the ballsy game approach, and tries to come into me. And after a good amount of time, he wipes out the unit of champs that are still contesting the zone. He takes out the Fellcaller as contesting the zone. And then he goes up 2 more points so that he will be at 5. Once he got to 5, there was no way, the game was over. He won on control points. But he spent a really long time doing that. Had we been playing on clock, I easily would have won, just because he was slow in that turn. This was a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I played War Machine and Hordes. I know we didn't get all the rules right, but we both had a blast playing. I hope to do more battle reports in the future. I don't know how frequent they will be, but I will attempt to get them out as often as I can and as often as I play. I hope everyone has enjoyed the battle report. Please leave comments in the description down, or comments down below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to answer. Have a good one.